welcome back to another little mini chit chat video. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for my Purple Heart member gangs. You guys will probably see this after the live is over. If you haven't joined me on the live, some of you will probably join us over here. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for all of your support. We appreciate you guys always. If you guys want to take part in that, all you have to do is like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the video. I have to clear my throat a little bit. The weather has been like really messing us up. One day it's like an ice storm, and the next day it's like Florida, and then the next day we're back to being cold. It's just been on and off. So excuse me in advance if I sound a little bit hoarse or scratchy. Yeah. So I wanted to go ahead and do a little quick chit chat video, a little mini reaction video, and I wanted to react to the US stock market and how that affects me. I live in Canada, as most of you know. However, I work for a company that has an American subsidiary. So we do purchase through our employment program or employee program. We do purchase stocks in the American company. So it kind of affects us, right? So that's why we're going to talk about it. So this massive sell-off that everybody's seen obviously is due to the stock market. Everything's down, so people are selling off like crazy because you don't want to end up with obviously stock that's worth nothing. So for my particular investment, the shares that I buy, I noticed there was like a sharp drop in the, like, it lost like over $4 in value, and then it just kept going down. So before this even happened, before the global tariffs. Remember, I live in Canada, so we've been dealing with this tariff thing now for a couple months ahead of the global economy. The Canadian economy has been dealing with the tariff situation, same as Mexico. So we're kind of not new to this. This new round of tariffs didn't really hit the Canadian economy as hard as it did, like, say, China and other countries that are way more poor, obviously, that can't afford the tariffs and all of that. That within itself is a whole other discussion. So we've been dealing with this, like I said, for a while. So once that came into play, with the whole Justin Trudeau and the governor and 51st state and all of this other stuff, I had already started selling shares in the American companies that we invest with. Just, just off the back of being a good patriot. We'd say we didn't feel comfortable like supporting the ideology that was coming out of the United States. So we started selling off shares. Some people started selling businesses, and some people started selling real estate, and some people started moving back, and we sold investments. We sold our stocks. We started to cash out. So with this new development, the stock market is like in further tailspin. Obviously, I don't want to be left with like stock that's worth nothing. So obviously we've also started selling off more shares. I won't sell all of it because the investment is not that it's not solid. It's just reacting to the market, and we understand that. So obviously we're not going to liquidate all those assets, but we are going to get rid of a good bit of it, and then we'll rebuy when the time is right. The market is just way too volatile right now. When I heard $6 trillion gone, poof, like, you don't have to be in Singapore to be like, what the what? Oh my God. You could feel it right here in Canada. Everybody who has investments over there was just like, oh my God. Like, I mean, that's for people's retirement. That's for people's inheritances. Whatever the case may be, a lot of people have money invested in the United States. So obviously, it hurts everyone, right? So we made the decision to go ahead and liquidate those stocks, and wait this out and reinvest when it's more feasible. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who don't have the opportunity to liquidate because everything is just gone. Like it's really scary to think that just one person could just destroy everything for so many people. But that's a whole other video. We'll talk about the protests and stuff like that. I'm kind of waiting to see how that plays out, right? Because there is going to be like a reaction to that. I'm just trying to wait and see what that reaction is going to be and how things play out, and we'll be reacting to it shortly. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to sit and talk with you guys about that tonight. I know that has been weighing heavily on a lot of people's minds. Like, a lot of people are taking huge financial losses because of these decisions and things that are happening. And I wanted to kind of share my experience with the whole thing. So you don't have to be, working at one of these companies or like living over there to be directly impacted. You could have investments tied up in these companies that are over there that are losing a lot of money, and it affects your, the value of your stocks and your shares and all of that stuff. So it's just one big headache, really. It's just way beyond politics at this point. Like, I could care less about the politics. That stuff will always work itself out. It's just the real life impact of stuff that's starting to just really affect everybody, just globally, like affect everybody. So everybody's dealing with different things. A lot of people are dealing with loss of employment and stuff like that, right? So by no means we are gonna minimize anything. Everybody's going through whatever it is they're going through. Everybody's feeling this in some way, shape, or form. So it's just really sad. And I just continue to hope and pray that things will, get back on track. But honestly, like everybody else, I'm a realist. Going back to how it used to be, probably not, but moving forward in a sort of cohesive existence, yes. Because like we can't cut the country in half. So we're kind of stuck where we are. So eventually, cooler heads will prevail, and this will all. Sorry, I'm cracking my fingers. This will all eventually have to work itself out, and sooner or later, if things become more volatile, obviously Congress and the Senate and whoever else will have to step in and just retake control of the situation and just get us back on track, because this whole, you know, let's all jump off the cliff together is just not my thing. Like, I'm not trying to do any of that. So hopefully the people who have the power to take charge will take charge, and this will be one for the history books, and we can just get on with it, because this is just becoming a lot. um but yeah, guys, that's just my little chit chat video for the night. I just kind of wanted to talk economics a little bit. I'm not gonna really get to do an entrepreneurial vlog tomorrow, since we are gonna be doing a regular day in the life vlog, since we're gonna be on the road. So I just wanted to kind of chit chat about that. As an entrepreneur, before I go, as an entrepreneur, those investments have allowed me to fund my business, to buy inventory, to buy packaging, to pay for advertising, to pay for staff, to pay for like delivery, postal. everything, licensing everything. So it's not just like, oh, you have stocks and talking about money. No, it's a fact that that's a loss of revenue for me as an entrepreneur, who depends on different streams of income to feed into the running of these businesses. So yeah, that's just kind of like, I wanted to put like the human face to that. A lot of people don't really look at things in that way. But there is a community of people, entrepreneurs, small business owners, who are really gonna feel the brunt of this, because those investments that are tanking is a stream of revenue for small startups, for small businesses, for people who need to raise capital quickly. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys so much. If you made it to the end of the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch up with you guys in another video. Stay up and stay blessed. Deuces.